it's Sonara. Welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell from the title, today's video is a little bit different. If I haven't already mentioned it, I'm currently in my second year of undergrad and I hope to go to medical school one day. So as you can tell, education is really important to me, so I want to include that into my channel. So in today's video, I want to give you my tips that I use to get good grades on my essays in college. And of course, these tips may not be for everybody. It's what works for me, and I just want to share it in case somebody else could benefit off of what works best for me. And yes, I did recently just use these tips to write an essay for my theater class, and I got an A. So I would definitely recommend keep watching. Tip number 1, talk to your professors. If they're a professor, they won't mind. If they're bad, I'm not really sure, but usually if I'm unsure about the topic or if my paper will go with what they want for me to write, I'll just ask them, shoot them an email, ask if my topic or what I want to lean my paper towards is a good, thesis, or if I should steer away and go somewhere else. Professors are there for a reason. They're supposed to help us and teach us, which is why we're paying all this money to go to school. So they should put you in the right direction if you think you're having trouble figuring out how to word or how to create a good topic for your paper. So always go to your professors if you're ever in doubt about anything. For my second tip, I would, if you can, look at your past papers or past essays that you had to write for an exam or anything, and look at the critiques if there are any, because that'll help you better your writing for the future. And you can see where, oh, I excelled on this part, or I wasn't as strong on this part, so that way you know for the future how to better structure your papers and make sure that the best quality you're putting into your work. Third, and I feel like most important tip, is to write a rough draft. I know nobody wants to really do that, or they just want to go ahead and get it done, but writing a rough draft is actually really important. It's going to help you save a lot of time on doing your papers. Personally, I like to take about maybe an hour or two just to write the draft, because that's literally just your first copy, your copy in general of your essay, and then all you have to really do is go back in and tweak it if you do it good. A rough draft just lets you have all your ideas in one place. You can have your introduction, you can have your body paragraphs and your conclusion, and they'll all be together, so you know exactly where you want to put each thing. You can even add in like little subtitles of what quotes you want to include, if any, so that way it's really just your paper in one spot. It just needs some touching up to do. So I highly recommend to do a rough draft, especially if you're unsure about writing and if you're nervous about your topic. It lets you have all your ideas in one place, so that way you know what you want to include, what you don't want to include, and how you want to structure your paper off. So definitely do a rough draft. So tip number 4, always support your claim. That's if you're using a book that you're basing your writing off of, or if it's an event or an article, you always want to make sure that you have good evidence to support your reasoning and why your part or your thesis is true and why the reader should believe or agree with you. So it's always good to go back into those texts to make sure you have any quotes that help support your argument, and make sure that they're peer reviewed, so that way they have something to back you up on, and then it's good backing up. So yeah, always make sure you have good material to review it. You don't want to have just a random little small line that agrees with you and the rest of the article doesn't agree with you. So you want to make sure you have good supporting evidence to back up any claims that you make, and to make sure that it proves the point that you're trying to make. Okay, and then last but not least, tip number 5. Always go back and look through your paper. You want to make sure that what you're submitting is good in the thesis, and what you're trying to argue has good grammar, is the correct length if there is a requirement on that, that your sentence structure is good. So you always want to go back and read it, tweak it if necessary, and then if you can, ask somebody else to read it for you so they can have another perspective to see that your paper is the absolute best that it can be. Okay, and I know today's video is a little bit short, but I promise I'll be back with more content, school-related content, beauty, fashion, the whole 9. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back shortly with another video. Bye.